Ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday. I'm back in the goddamn studio. Thank God, finally. It's been a week of terrible internet, travel for me. If you didn't notice any of my streams last week, which involved me streaming from a hotel room with no green screen and no good microphone, like an animal, I'm back in civilization now. You can see I'm in the studio. Today we have Little Bug. She'll be on in just a moment. I just want to reiterate what we usually do at the beginning of the show. Oh, I got him out of breath. Every single time I start getting this shit ready at like noon on Monday. Last night, I was talking with our guest saying, hey, can you send me some pictures so I can slot them into the show? Everything was good. I was all set with the show. Come to today, I would try something new. I'd do something different. Fucking Christ. It doesn't help that it's 100 degrees in here and I insist on getting dressed up. Anyways, so before we start the show, here's how it works. We're going to go through an interview with our guest, Little Bug, who's a spotlight streamer for Twitch Kittens this week. You'll be able to ask questions if you like in the chat. I will not respond to questions live unless they're crazy, but I'm not going to even look at my phone probably. There is at least one mod hanging out, so if you need something, you talk to MAF127. He will try and help. If you have questions, we'll get to them at the end. Also, the post show, which is after this show, we do a couple more questions if they're stragglers. The other thing is I don't ever respond to like follows or anything like that. That's pretty rude to the guest. So if those are going on, you don't hear me saying, oh, thanks so much. I'll get to all that in the post show. God damn it, Mike. First question, Bill's draft. Okay, now we're not doing that. We're doing our talk. Let me get my infrastructure ready, and let's go to our guest now. Okay, can you hear me, lady?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hooray! It works.
I think we did it. This is Little Bug. She is the spotlight streamer this week. She streams variety, right? That's what you would classify yourself as?
I do. Yeah, awesome. I'm a variety streamer.
There you go. Because I'm so bad at this, let me just go ahead and pop that picture up on the screen. So basically, we always start out the talk with what's on tap, which is a segment we started forever ago when I first started this show. I don't know why I have both these in my ear. That's ridiculous. Mike and I started this forever ago, and it was basically just me and him talking on this about Marvel characters. Oh, by the way, you can now see Little Bug's cute emote in the top left. So we do a What's on Tap segment. What are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking scotch. Here, I'll go ahead and show the bottle.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's backwards, but this is what I'm drinking. I cannot pronounce it correctly because I'm a scrub.
Balvenie.
Balvenie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. This is a 12-year Balvenie single barrel first fill. So
that's a good one. I don't know anything about scotch.
Fancy.
I could pretend. I know you're supposed to do like this and plot world domination, I think. No, so I am drinking what I have been drinking for the last week, which a friend of mine turned me on to, and that's Molotov Heavy. It's ridiculous. Good. Yeah, it's super duper good. The mod in this channel actually turned me on to it. My favorite beer ever is Molotov Light, which is the kind of like the third baby cousin to this beer.
Mm-hmm. Is that a dark?
This is a muddy IPA. It looks like there's dirt floating around in it, which I think means it's good. So
I'm not an IPA drinker, so I wouldn't know. I like pretty much everything except IPAs.
Oh, well.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all for our show today. We'll talk to you later. No. Let's do... I'm sorry, I'm behind here. There we go. Let's do in the beginning. Tell me about you. About Little Bug the gamer.
Bug the gamer.
Yeah, did you start when you were a baby? Did you kind of grow up from there?
I popped out of the womb with a controller in my hand. No.
As we all did.
As we all did, of course. I guess you could say that I've always been a gamer, but at the same time, not. My parents divorced when I was really young, and my dad always had consoles, but I lived with my mom and would just visit. So every time that I would go over to my dad's, I would just play the shit out of the consoles. But then at my mom's, we weren't allowed to have anything like that, so I was deprived in that sort of sense.
Damn.
So yes, I've always been a gamer. I mean, I had like an original Nintendo and a SNES and a Sega Genesis and all of those things. The first console that I ever had with my mom was the GameCube, and we only had 2 games, Animal Crossing and Smash Brothers. So I played the shit out
staples.
of those 2 games.
Those are probably in the top 10 most popular 60-year GameCube games, I bet.
Yeah, probably. And then we also had a PlayStation 2. But we weren't allowed to have like violent games or anything because my mom was really strict. But the first like violent, gory game that I ever got was I sneakily bought God of War.
Nice.
And I love the God of War series, and I love them. But so I guess that's what you could say. That yes, I've always been a gamer, but I didn't start PC gaming until college.
Oh, okay.
And it was World of Warcraft.
The old staple.
So, yeah. Classes were missed.
10 years later, I stopped playing that game. Yeah.
I got sucked in super hardcore with Burning Crusade is when I started.
That's when I started too. I remember that. I started right when my favorite fight ever was in Serpentshire Cavern, and it was Lady Vash. It was my favorite fight.
Mm-hmm.
You had to pass around that tainted core, and I forget it. I think Shadow Priest are the only ones that could make nets or something like that, and they would net those big fen striders. Man, that fight was wild. It was like, if you think it's hard to pug fights now, I don't understand how you ever would do it back then.
I can't pug fight in WoW. I actually don't play WoW now. I played Burning Crusade, Lich King. I didn't play Mists. I came back for Kata, and then once I level capped, I stopped. Once
you got through Kata, okay. I stopped a couple different times, and they all coincided with when my children were born. Is exactly the times I stopped.
Fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
It's tough to have a rating schedule. The word schedule is strange when you have a child. So yeah, and I think it's funny because I think my childhood kind of grew up the same way. It was like we had Nintendo and then Super Nintendo and then we had Genesis as well, and then like pretty much every system except our first bloody game was Mortal Kombat, and the only reason we were allowed to get it was because if you remember back then, Mortal Kombat was shipped without an NC-17 or an MA rating or whatever the ratings were back then, because you had to enter in a blood code to get the blood. So we convinced my parents that, it's okay, there's no blood, it's just fake fighting. And then immediately the first thing we did was hit the blood code, and so we could see all the blood everywhere.
Yep, I mean, as you do.
If it wasn't a shock, I have 2 brothers. So we just played that constantly.
I have 1 brother, and obviously we didn't have Mortal Kombat, but I did kick the shit out of him in
Super Smash Brothers.
Super Smash Brothers all the time.
Nice. So
he hated it.
How did you go from... I guess tell me the timeline. When did you start streaming, maybe? Do you remember when?
In February.
February of this year?
Yes.
You're a little baby.
I am a little baby streamer.
That's cool.
Actually, Gamer Kitty and I, like, we call each other twin because we started streaming around the same time. We joined Twitch Kittens at the same time.
Oh.
We got affiliated at the same time. So that's why we call each other twin.
That's actually a good background. I did not know why that was, but I've seen her say that a lot.
Yep. That's why.
Got it. And how did you start streaming? Obviously, it wasn't you and Gamer Kitty weren't friends first.
No.
So you found out about it through some other way. I mean, the whole Twitch world, what it was and everything.
Well, I knew about Twitch because I would watch Twitch, kind of casually.
Yeah.
But I was a mod for 2 years for a friend of mine, White Jack, who is currently moving. But I was his mod for 2 years and kind of, got the ins and outs of that side of Twitch a little bit from that. And then I kind of just decided, I'll give this a shot. Why not? So I did.
Have I seen that name before? White Jack? Is that person in Twitch Kittens?
No, he's not in Twitch Kittens, but he's my mod.
Okay, so I've seen him in there then, or her, or whatever.
Him.
Okay.
You've seen him.
And he streams too. Okay.
Yes.
Or at least did, and now he's moving, is what you say.
He still streams. He's just currently in the process of moving, so that's why he is not here.
Got it. And so when you started, you were always a PC streamer, right?
Yes, I've always been
you played
a PC streamer.
before. Yeah. Because I know there's so many freaking people that have problems with console streaming, and I have no way to answer their questions. I
kind of want to try it, but I can't currently because I don't have the setup for it. But I want to try it. I want to try it because I have a PS4 and I love God of War, and I would love to try to stream God of War, but that I haven't quite figured out how to do that with my overlays and stuff. So I've not yet attempted it.
I have to talk to our friend Ponies to figure that out, I think.
I think so too.
No, I'm like you. I have all the consoles, and I'm really afraid that I'm not going to have it ready for Red Dead Redemption, which is like the only reason I have a PS4 is playing that game. So when that comes out, like 3 or 4 years from now, I need to be ready for it. The only problem is that I have a capture card for it, but it's weird to have live audio not going through headphones with it. I don't know. It's a Pony's problem. I'm going to him with it.
I will probably also be going to him to figure out how to do that.
He's going to do all the work.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you get things done.
Yeah. Okay, so the second area has 3 different questions for you.
Okay.
So obviously the way we know each other and you know Gamer Kitty is through Twitch Kittens, the community itself. You also have your own community. The name is Fox Den. Fox Den? Okay.
It's the name of my channel is the Fox Den.
Got it.
Well, the name of my channel is my name, my username, but
which is right below her little picture. And you're also a part of something else. Thunder City?
Thunder City.
Okay. And that is a whole group of other people. So I've asked this question to Avi and some of the other guests, and I think Lace as well when I first started asking this question. Is that too many communities?
There's no such thing as too many communities.
Okay. So on a priority of what you check first, no, I'm just kidding. Don't answer that. I'm not gonna answer that. Oh, and obviously Cuddle Puddle, which everyone's kind of a part of too. And I mean, everyone has their own freaking community. It's just crazy. But yeah, it's interesting the amount of benefit you get from being in all those communities and meeting all those people. Like obviously you said you would not know Gamer Kitty had not you been in Twitch Kittens, which is kind of how you know all of us and how we're on the show and how we're doing this together right now.
Right, is from Twitch Kittens. I mean, I've met a lot of people through the communities that are just amazing people that have developed into real friendships. And some of them I'm actually going to be meeting IRL soon. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Sweet. Yeah, hopefully we can tie up
I'm meeting you IRL soon.
You live in Dallas. Yeah, there you go. So here's another question. Communities and the benefit that it can provide new streamers. Some people, we see a lot of this chat in the Twitch Kittens Discord, and I'll kind of refer to that mainly since that's sort of where we both exist.
Right.
And spend a lot of time. In the Discord, we get tons of questions from new streamers. How do we get viewership? How come there's only these people in here? We see a lot of posts like, hey, come join my chat, when you're not supposed to join. Paste that in the wrong chats. Would you say that joining a community and contributing to the community is in the top 1 or 2 suggestions you would give to new streamers?
It would be the top thing for me.
The top thing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, none of the people who are in my chat, except for maybe 3 of them, would have found me outside of Twitch Kittens or any community for that matter. I would say that it's probably the number 1 thing that has helped my growth is joining a community, being active, supporting other streamers, hanging out in their streams, developing real relationships and not just, the fake, oh, I'm going to hang out and talk to you so that you'll come follow me type thing. That obviously that doesn't work. You have to develop real relationships and be actually supportive of other people. And that's I would say that is the number one thing by far that has helped me in my Twitch journey so far.
Yeah, and it's so crucial for many different reasons. One, you're obviously all chatting in the same place, so you sort of get to know other people by default. You know, just like whatever you're talking about, different games you like, or whatever topic is randomly in Gen Chat 2. Gen Chat 2.
Yeah, Gen 2.
No, but you also get the benefit of things like raids and hosts and all that kind of stuff from meeting your friends and streaming. They come and hang out with you and push, suggest you to their friends and all that kind of stuff. It ends up becoming this huge circle of. I've described it before as like a rising water level for your friends. Like everyone kind of floats to the top if everyone sort of contributes and is a part of the group. Okay, let's talk about the spotlight.
Okay.
You have had 5 before you that I've talked to. I think I call it 5, but I don't think Lace was technically in the spotlight. She just was on the show. I think it was Kitty, and then Athena, and then Avi, and then you. And before that was Alvara, and I'm really pissed that I never got to talk to Alvara. I'm going to suggest she wins again so that I can have her on the show. So, when you found out, was it a surprise? Were you excited?
Oh, yeah.
What position were you in? Were you on your way to work? Like, oh, God!
I was already at work. I had just gotten out of a meeting at work, and I, saw the DM, and I replied back, like, hey, how you doing? What's up? And was told that I was Spotlight streamer, and I just freaked out, basically. It was a complete surprise. It was definitely not something that I was expecting at all. So I was really excited. and so I got told on, Tuesday? I got told on Tuesday that they would announce it on Wednesday, so I had to keep my mouth shut for an entire day, and that was really hard. That was probably the hardest thing, was that I wanted to tell people because I was excited. Like, I wanted to tell the people I'm close to, and I couldn't.
It's so funny you say that, because I remember thinking, man, someone should know already. Like, it was Wednesday or something like that, and we hadn't heard. I forget what time it was on Wednesday. But I remember thinking, someone has to know by now, and they're writing something up. And I remember seeing you posting in chat, like in Gen Chat. And then the whole thing got announced. I'm like, oh, she was just talking randomly in Gen Chat. So I wonder if she knew.
I did. I knew for a day that I was the Spotlight, that I was going to be announced as the Spotlight streamer. And I had already, sent off my little, blurb that they ask you to write. So I was just kind of waiting. And trying not to say anything.
There's no way I would keep my mouth shut.
It was really hard, honestly, to not tell Kitty, especially. It was really, really hard, since she had already been through it and everything like that. It was really, really hard not to tell her.
So how do you think? I've been kind of disconnected since I was traveling, so I've made maybe 1/8 of the raids I usually make. Did they raid you at some point this week?
What, Twitch Kittens?
Yeah.
No, they did not.
Son of a bitch. I'm gonna talk to someone.
No.
No. I'm sure you got plenty of love from our close friends. I think I saw a bunch of raids going that way and hosts and everything.
Especially... Yeah, Frump and Avel definitely rated me, and
they're the best.
Oh God, yeah, they're both the best. I love both of them.
Just according to ponies, don't let Frump babysit your children, is what I heard today.
Well, I don't have children, so
there was
that's not a problem. So.
No. So what about, you made a lot of posts this week, which I love. My favorite thing is seeing those posts of the Spotlight streamer. And everyone has done a great job so far. It's cool how you get to see sort of almost a different look at the streamer's personality, in my opinion. I like that you did the write-up on the tattoos and sort of talked to, because you're a tattoo person. And
I have, I'm not a tattoo artist. I have tattoos.
Right. But they each have different meetings, and you sort of went into a blurb about the meetings. I like that it wasn't, hey, I'm streaming now, and here's things about my streaming. It was almost more of a, here's who I am as a person, and these are the things that are important to me. I like that aspect of it.
I tried, because each of them, I mean, there's definitely, you know, some people who get tattoos just because, you know, they're like, they like the image and they get it, and that's totally fine. But for me personally, each of them has a specific meaning and like almost like a reminder of a life message to myself. And I just kind of thought about each one of those, and I was like, oh, I have 7, and I'm going to be a spotlight streamer for 7 days. So this kind of fits. And then I tried to make each one relate to, like it's like a life lesson that I live by, but I tried to also relate it to, and here's how you could apply it to your stream.
I like it.
I tried.
It was really good. It was excellent.
I wanted to do something that was personal and hadn't been done yet. So.
Right. That makes sense. And that's all the more pressure on the next person. I feel like for the last 5 or so, or whatever, 3, 4, 5, spotlight people, it's just going to keep growing in expectation more. So whoever gets it next week is completely screwed.
I felt like there was a lot of pressure purely just because of the people who did it before me.
There was a lot of good ones. They were all good.
Yeah.
Everyone's been really, really good. So, sort of going back, not necessarily on the... actually, let me ask you a question. When you get invited to be on the Spotlight panel or whatever, the Spotlight streamer, do they say, here's why you're the Spotlight person?
Sort of. I was told that I was... so you have to get nominated, and then you're voted on from, I don't know who, but people vote on you.
Secret admirers.
Yeah, sure. Secret admirers vote on you. And I was told that they look for people that embody and represent what the community stands for. So it doesn't matter if you're a big streamer or a small streamer or anything like that. They're looking for people who embody what Twitch Kittens is about. And they told me that that's why I was chosen.
Very nice. And actually, I know that a piece of that goes into, because we've talked a lot of times about what's the importance of Discord and what's the importance of having a schedule on the stream and all this kind of stuff. I know that one thing that is very important to being the Spotlight person is social media presence and tweeting and Instagramming and all whatever, Facebooking. Yes. I don't know if that's a thing.
I don't think Facebooking really matters.
MySpacing. I updated my MySpace.
Oh, yeah.
I put Twitch Kittens in my top 8.
My live journal.
Yes, I made an Angel Fire in GeoCities website for it. Elect Kitty, or I'm sorry, elect Kitty, elect Alvara, elect Abby, all the people at geocities.com is what the websites are.
Totally.
So, but you seem to post a lot. I mean, we follow each other and all these things, but you're pretty active on those sites, and it's not just the hey, I'm going live now, which there's a good majority of people that do that. So, but that sort of goes to your post about Spotlight and sort of bringing people more into the personal aspect of who you are as a streamer, which I really like, by the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to sort of switch gears a little bit from the Spotlight and go on to... Actually, no. I have another question about Spotlight.
Okay. I'm ready.
Let's say that I'm a new streamer to Twitch Kittens. I just joined. I see the Spotlight person. She's getting all this fame. There's all these lights on her. People are throwing flashlights at her all the time. What is your suggestion besides, because I'm already in the community, for someone that says, I want to be the streamer Spotlight person, how do I get there? Besides the fact of what they said about, hey, you need to embody whatever Twitch Kittens. Your personal take on it. How would someone do their best to become that?
Support the community. I mean, that's one of the reasons they told me is they saw how much I supported the community. Like I have a command in my stream that automatically posts every so often that here's the communities I'm a member of, with links to them, go check them out. I talk about it on my stream. I shout out, other people who are in the community. I host them, I raid them.
Welcome to Hero
I hang
Squad.
out in their streams. I tweet when they're going live. and use the Twitch Kittens hashtags and things like that. So I mean, I think it's just support other kittens.
See that? Lessons for streaming here on this show today. Every week, lessons for streaming. That is good advice, and probably the best advice that you can give anyone joining Twitch Kittens that wants to, in not even necessarily just being the streamer spotlight person. We're talking about, how many people we've seen say, hey, how do you get rated? Well, first of all, that's not how you get rated. Asking how to get rated. But one of the ways to get rated is by supporting community members. Because then, even subconsciously, the people that run the raids and the people that talk to them and sort of put lists together and everything, they go, oh, this person's really, really active. They're supporting all these other charity streams. They're going into these different things. They're, rating other people. They're tweeting out everything about Twitch Kittens. That's all important. That all gets taken into consideration. And obviously,
not even... Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say it also goes into getting hosts and raids and friends coming into your stream to chat with you. I know for sure, and I said this when I first joined, was if I'm on an off night or during the afternoon, I work from home. So I sit there with Twitch screens up on multi-Twitch or whatever, I have everybody up on it. But I'll check new people out every once in a while. The people I don't check out are the people I don't see in the chat. I don't know your name. Yeah. I don't know who you are. I'm not coming to your chat. But the people that are regularly talking and joking, asking questions, trying to get better, I'll see them in other people's chat. I'll come to your chat. I'll come to Kitty's chat or Avi or Sliced Banana or somebody like that. See someone new. Then if I see them in the list on the Twitch Kittens, that's the first place I'm going. So that's all part of what she's kind of saying about helping the community, support the community, and be out there in the community.
When I, at the end of my streams, when I'm looking for a raid target, I pop open the Discord and I see who's live right now, and I look for a name that I recognize, basically, like, oh, who have I talked to? And then I kind of, just scroll through and go, oh, I haven't raided this person in a while. And then we raid, my channel raids them. So that's kind of, if you are not actively talking to people in the stream, then, I'm probably not going to think to raid you because I don't know you.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And obviously the easiest way to get your name recognized is to be active in the chat. In all the chats. Not necessarily just the chat on people's streams. The communities, the Twitch, Twitch channels, the Discord communities, Twitter, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. So I don't think I have a topic for this, but I want to ask. And I didn't ask Avi, and I kind of meant to. There's a whole aspect of Twitch. This is a little more serious of a talk. So let's take a drink real quick. Okay.
Dinner drinks.
So there's an aspect to streaming that I don't see a lot of, but I hear a lot about it. This is the aspect of there can be a little rough talk sometimes in Twitch streams, mostly towards female streamers. Mostly, I think male streamers sometimes deal with it as well. What would you give as far as advice to someone that is new? And we've seen a couple questions like this week to new, female streamers that are just sort of getting started, but are really off-put by trolls that come in the channel and start talking all kinds of crazy crap. There is some stuff in the discussion channel today that was just gross. What's your advice to them to? It's just an immediate ban and forget it? Is it I know that we have some people in the guild that are like, well, I keep calling it a guild in the community that say, you can bring them around. You can turn a bad troll into a friend, into maybe a viewer. At what point is that not going to work? What's your experience with that, I guess?
I think it depends. I haven't really experienced very many trolls. I've had a couple, but I think I'm still too new of a streamer for them to have really found me a whole lot. But I feel like it just depends on the type of troll that it is. Because I've had some trolls that come in and just start saying dumb things. And those they don't bother me. Not really. Like, it's like, okay, you're saying weird shit. That's cool. And I kind of just, I don't know, you just don't really feed them, because they're
number one internet rule, right?
That's the number one rule. Don't feed the trolls. I mean, they're coming in for a reaction, and if for me, I just kind of look at it and go, okay. And they get bored, and sometimes they stay and actually become, decent humans. And so, sometimes they just leave. Now, the ones that are going to come in and say like gross sexual shit to you, those just get banned. And it's like, okay, but you still don't give them the reaction.
Yeah.
You don't want to freak out and be like, oh my God, I can't believe that, because that gives them what they want. That's why they're doing it.
Right.
You just kind of go, okay, someone ban him, please, thanks. And the end.
Right.
But I mean, that hasn't really, I haven't had anything like that happen live. I have been DM'd during a stream with gross things like that. And a lot of people's solution to that is just to turn off your DMs. But I don't want to do that. So, I mean, I just ban them. So it's I just don't respond and ban them, and that's it. But trolls don't really, I don't know. They don't really upset me all that much, because I'm not going to let a coward upset me.
Hey, see? Lesson number 2.
They are.
Lesson number 2 today.
So,
no, I hear what you're saying. There's a little bit of an aspect, and it's I remember the first time I joined Lace's stream, I saw a little bit of this, and it was so shocking to me that I had never seen it before. I've been streaming for 4 years. I've never seen anything like that in my chat. Obviously, that's targeted towards a different type of streamer than I am. But yeah, it's a really weird world, and there is an element, as you say, of not necessarily not feeding the trolls, but that is true. But also, if you've been around the internet long enough, you sort of understand how it works. There's a lot of sick people out there that like anonymity and all this kind of stuff. So it's sometimes best to just, whatever, man. I'm not even gonna let you permeate my sphere of life. It's a waste of time to even think about this.
Basically, I mean, there's so many, it's a person hiding behind a screen who would not be brave enough to say that to your face. So I just look at them as, you're a little baby coward. Also, most of them are probably 12. So.
Well, Logan Paul did join Twitch, so you never know.
Yeah, and I mean, even so, it's kind of like, meh. I have, racial slurs and things like that on my auto ban. So those people don't even get second chances. It's just, if you're going to, my take on that is, if you're going to say it once, then you're not a person that I want in my community anyways. Yeah. So they just get auto banned, and I don't even have to deal with it at that point. But like other things, they may be a little, I'm a little more willing to deal with, I guess. And, they can make fun of me all they want, and my mods will just ban them, or sometimes I'll banter with them. That's happened once. Because, again, like, you're probably 12. And you're also, probably a coward who would never say these things to a person IRL. So I'm not going to let that bother me.
I agree. And that's a perfectly legitimate and good way to deal with it, in my opinion. I think everyone deals with it in their own way. And also, I think, as you said, there's some way more severe cases where it just kind of keeps up forever. And then, Twitch gets involved in all this kind of stuff. Anyways, I wanted to put the question out there to you. I meant to ask it last week, but I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago, but I did not. So the next talk that we have is we've talked about where you began. We talked about the communities now. Where do you want to be? I think last week I told Abby where you want to be in 5 years. But where do you want to be in, say, 3 months or 6 months or 1 year in terms of streaming? Is this possibly a full-time thing for you? Is this I'm just having fun doing my thing on the side, don't really care about partnership or any of that kind of stuff? What's your goal?
This is definitely a part-time thing for me. I don't think I'd ever quit my day job. I actually like my day job.
What? Get out of here. So, we're done.
Yeah, I actually like my day job, so I probably wouldn't quit to do this full-time. I definitely enjoy it. This is like a really fun thing for me to do, and I really, really like it. The only reason I would ever shoot for partnership is to get more emotes.
Yes. Your emotes are awesome. I love your emotes.
I just want all the emotes.
By the way, who did your emotes before? I don't mean to interrupt.
Well,
Is
I
it Foxy?
well, I have two different people who have the emote that people keep throwing up in chat. My tier 1 is actually not someone who is on Twitch. They did all my overlays and they did everything like that. They're amazing. They're linked on my info section on my channel. It's called Cherry and Queen, and they're fucking fantastic. I don't know if I'm allowed to say fuck on your stream.
Oh yeah, you are.
So, okay.
It's encouraged.
They're fantastic. And then my tier 2 one was done by Kawaii Foxita, who is a Twitch kitten. And I'm actually currently getting my third emote, my tier 3 emote redone. Currently, it's done by the same person who did my first tier emote.
What is the tier 3? I can't think of it.
It's a cry emote. And
okay.
When I started streaming, I wanted to come in already like with like nice looking overlays and go ahead and have my emotes ready, just in case. So I just did it all at the same time. And I just kind of went, well, I mean, I think I'll have like a happy emote and a rage emote and then a sad emote because that sounds right. And then after I started streaming, I kind of went, I never rage at games.
But everyone has a rage emote.
So, I probably don't need a rage emote. And then now with my cry one, I'm like, I don't ever use this emote either. I don't have anyone at my tier 3 sub level. I honestly just want to redo it so that I can use it.
Until today. Everybody go to her page.
But I've already found an artist that I'm gonna work with, and contacted them and waiting on a sketch, and I'm really, really, really excited. This one's gonna be my favorite emote, I'm sure.
Nice.
I'm not saying what it is though, because it's a surprise for everyone.
Sweet. So I'm actually getting all mine redone too, so I would totally hear that.
Awesome. Who are you using?
I have been working with the same artist who actually did this overlay here, and that did the other newsroom with the desk. Nice. I get all my work done through Upwork, and there's a whole contract-based thing in that website. So she's redoing like everything, the panels and all this kind of stuff. So I'm pretty excited.
And I feel like I've just used like a different artist for each emote, just because I'm like, I just want to spread it out.
Yeah.
But, they're all credited on my Twitch panel. Excuse me, hiccup.
Oh, now you're gonna make me feel bad for not crediting Lynn.
Always credit your artists.
I know. She's way high up in my auto host list. She actually does work on the stream too, which is really cool. I always check her out as much as I can. Okay, so sorry, I've completely distracted us from the emote talk.
No, it's okay.
The 5-year plans. Partnership, not that important, but okay if it happens. You want more emotes, which is awesome. Every time I go to every single time I go to Julia's stream for whatever reason, or someone like Wild Bill, or I think Easy has a bunch of emotes, but their tier 1 is 50 emotes or something. I'm like, oh my god, look at all these freaking emotes.
That's what I want. I want all those emotes. I follow 2 partnered streamers, or I'm subbed to 2 partnered streamers so that I can have all the emotes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would be partnered. I would be subbing so many more if I could afford it.
Yeah, I hear that. That's like there's a lot of guys that follow me in some of the games that I play, just because I play similar games to people like the Doc, and he has an enormous amount of emotes. So every time they're posting, I'm like, what the hell is that? Oh, it's Doc's tier 3 number 7 emote or some weird shit.
Right.
I have no idea. But okay, so partnership cool for emotes. What about you like your full-time job?
Mm-hmm.
What if someone came to you and said, partnered next week, you're going to get 5,000 viewers every stream, all these subscribers. Are we quitting the day job then?
Probably not, to be honest.
Wow, I like it.
Probably not. I really, really enjoy my day job. And I mean, I would still be partnered. I would just do both.
Yeah. Just stream at night or something, or switch hours.
Yeah, I would. I mean, my schedule's going to change next starting next week anyways, because I'm moving this weekend. So
how's all these people moving? Are you moving with Kitty or something? What's going on?
No, yeah, we're moving in together. I'm moving in with her and her hubby. I'm gonna sleep on their couch.
The dock.
Yeah. I think it's just that time of year. You know, school's about to end. Everybody moves. I'm just moving closer to work. So. But
do you have a long commute now?
No, but
shorter now. Shorter commute at this point.
I have a 25-minute commute, and it's gonna be like a 10-minute commute. So
that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. But I'm honestly really, really excited about arranging my furniture with streaming in mind. Because when I started streaming, like all of this was already set up, and this is pretty much the only way that it can go. I'm really excited, honestly, about thinking about, oh man, now I get to arrange my whole new apartment based on what's my stream gonna look like.
Yeah, I hear that, and I love seeing the backgrounds of different people's streams. Because I personally stream on the main screen with a green screen. Actually, I'm standing in front of a fucking green screen right now. I'm just kidding. This is a whole studio area.
It's built in your house, right?
Yeah. No, but there's some people that have really cool backgrounds when they stream that I really appreciate that look. And I know even Julia has just like a folding Japanese curtain or whatever they call it. I don't know what it's called. Japanese folding something or other. But
I don't know.
It's just different. It's cool. And I like you're saying, I like the idea that you can kind of arrange stuff to make it look different or however you want to do it. Yeah.
I mean, mine, it's just pretty boring right now, except for my cat. Everybody likes my cat. Or wait, she's over there. There she is. I'm backwards.
Wrong way.
Yeah, my cat's right here. See this lamp? It's my cat. That's really the only interesting thing about my setup right now is that my cat like hangs out in the background. That's about it.
We're in Twitch Kittens. I think if you don't have a cat, you're a weirdo.
That's fair.
And I don't have a cat. Okay,
She's a good cat, though.
What's the cat's name?
Her full name is Katarina Pumpkin Waffle Meowth.
Okay.
Yep.
Someone write that in the chat so I can remember that for the post show, please.
Katarina with a K. Katarina Pumpkin Waffle Meowth is her name. But she goes by Kat. That's the name she came with. She came with the name Katarina, and but she actually responds to Kat. Like, I mean, she probably won't right now, but she's awake. But she will come when you call her. If you call her Kat, you know, she's weird. She's a weird little cat. But pumpkin waffle is 2 words, so it's Katarina Pumpkin Waffle Meow.
Jesus.
She's got 4 names.
It's funny, the different streams that I look at, and you sort of get to know the cat as an extra cast member on the show.
Yep, basically.
Like Avi has her cat, and Roya has a cat that jumps on the screen a couple times. She might have a few cats actually. I don't remember. But it's interesting that there's an extra player. I just have a random kid that will show up at like 2 a.m. and come on the stream.
I mean, that's adorable.
Yeah, half asleep.
Yeah, so she's not a lap cat, so she doesn't really appear in the foreground. She just appears in the background. The other night, it was fun. She sat there and licked her ass in front of everybody, so that was fun. Banned, like, instantly, of course.
This is the after hours show here, gentlemen. Turn on some red flashing light to go on. Just switch to the cat view.
Yeah, I just, like, glanced over to my my stream preview, and I just kind of looked, and I went, oh, there's my cat. She's just licking her ass.
This is happening. Just deal with it.
Thanks, life. Thank you, cat.
Awesome.
Welcome to the fox den.
So, you're talking about moving. That kind of walks into our next little topic here, as I've asked the last couple of streamers. There is some element of balance involved with the stream life.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of jobs, cats, significant others. How do you work it out? I don't know your exact schedule, and that's just me being a terrible interviewer. But
right now I stream 3 days a week. I'm thinking about possibly adding an extra day after I move. I'm not sure though. But
yeah. So how do you find the right balance of things? You have a social life, you have a personal life, and things. You don't want to spend all your day at work and then come home and immediately get on stream and then go to bed and then back to work and then stream and that's all you do all day. Obviously, you have no more personal relationships, and your cat might be dead. What?
Yeah.
How do you maintain everything? What's your personal mode of operation?
Well, I tend to take Sundays off. So Sundays I tend to be I will generally watch like one or two streamers that stream on Sunday that I really like, but I tend to lurk more than anything, and that kind of is my offline day. I do, I hang out with friends. Sometimes I just veg in front of Netflix. I am not as active on the Discord. Maybe I'll pop in and say hi. Maybe I won't. Kind of just depends on how I feel. But I think it's important to kind of have like at least a day. And I feel like it also depends on like you. Like everybody's different. Some people are going to need more time. Some people are going to need less. You just kind of got to find what works for you the best. But for me, having Sundays offline seems to be working so far. And I just kind of, I keep to my schedule. And then the other days, I just kind of do what I want. Like I'll still like hang out in streams and things like that. Like my standard little rotation that I that I have of streamers that I go watch.
Yeah, everybody's got that. I got you.
Yep. But I just kind of Sundays are like me days. Sundays are the days that I step away, I take me time, and I also Saturday evenings. After I stop my stream on Saturday, I stream on Saturdays during the day, and then in the evenings I quit and then I walk away. Like I'm done being online.
Just disconnect
on Saturdays
for the night.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I do things with friends. And then I don't really watch a whole lot of TV anymore, except for two shows.
What are they?
So, Westworld. And
don't spoil it.
I'm not gonna spoil anything. I am up to date. I've watched the first 2 episodes of this season, and it's amazing. Everybody should go watch it. It's so good. And The 100. Those are my 2 shows that I like make time to watch. So, The 100 is probably a little more guiltier pleasure a little bit.
You were just talking about this recently someplace.
I was talking about it in Gen 2.
That's where it was. Yeah.
It's a CW show, so everybody's ridiculously pretty and has like perfect eyeliner and shit, and it's like the show is a dystopian, like humanity has survived a nuclear war type thing, but everybody has perfect makeups.
But the Kylie Jenner lip kit still exists or something like that?
Somewhere.
Is that not right? Is it Kylie? Kendall?
I have no idea.
One of those girls has a lip thing.
I'm not huge on reality TV shows, except for competition shows. For some reason,
the cooking shows?
Those I like. Competition shows. I really liked Skin Wars.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Skin Wars. It's body painting, but it's a competition show. Like it's like those formulaic kind of like competition where like someone gets knocked off every week, type things. Those I kind of like, but those are really the only reality shows that I watch, and I Netflix them. Like I don't care about them live.
Right.
It's like I put it on background kind of thing while I'm cleaning or drinking or eating. So.
Right. Well, that's how I watch most of my shows too. While I'm doing something else or working. But I definitely think it's important, take that mental space for yourself. And, you got to treat yourself sometimes and definitely have like a scheduled mental day. Look at that. 3 lessons for streaming today. 3. No less on this show every week. 3 lessons for new streamers. No, I mentioned this before, but I have sort of the same deal worked out where, I have 2 small children. So streaming during the day on the weekends is non-existent. There's, I'm just constantly either going somewhere or in the playroom, laying around, rolling around on the ground with them.
It's adorable.
So I would love to stream during the day and the weekends, but it's also cool that I have time for everyone else that streams, so I can go check them out. I can multi-twitch everyone. I can bounce back and forth between the streams, like kind of while I'm just sitting there. There's a TV in the playroom. I'll Chromecast it up on the screen and just watch, different channels on there. Yep. But yeah, that's a really good point, is taking time for yourself. And even not on the weekends, the only time you'll ever see the stream live, that's untrue. I tried out a daytime stream for a little while, and then I got a second job, and I don't have enough time for that. But now, the only time I'm ever live is after 9 p.m. That might go until midnight. That might go until 3 in the morning. I don't know. But it's never before 9 because my family's not asleep before 9 o'clock.
Right.
Once they're asleep, then it's time to do what I want to do.
Yeah, I don't have to deal with that part of that aspect of balancing, because I'm single, and I don't really have to deal with that. It's
you have
more
a social life, though.
I have a social life.
I don't have a social life.
I have a social life. I have friends and things like that. But I mean, my work, I'm really lucky in the fact that I work for a company that really values work-life balance. So I never really have to worry about bringing work home with me, except for very, very rare instances. So I'm lucky in that aspect, that I work for a company that really, truly values that. And that gives me the luxury of being able to have a schedule for my streams and things like that.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And it's awesome to work for a company like that, too. I mean, I work for some government agencies, but they're the government, so
government agency.
No one works on the weekends in these companies.
Yeah, nobody works in the weekends for my company either.
I think just mentioning back to some of the previous hosts, I know for sure that Abby is a bring your work home type of person. I think she gets pretty busy too. So I'm sure when we talked about the whole stream life balance, her big thing was trying to deal with work. She has a ton of work and responsibility she has to deal with. It's just a different aspect to it. You know what I mean? It's cool. I love hearing about everyone else's, not personal life. I'm not writing them down on my GeoCities account, but like, they're balanced with their significant other or their children or whatever it happens to be. It's really interesting how they work that out. I think I'm trying to think of one other really good thing about streaming. I want to ask you before we go to questions.
Ask away.
I'm thinking. Oh, let me give you a good one.
Okay.
Your favorite game to stream right now versus you think your top game is in terms of growing your channel, and how important is it that you stream to grow or stream for fun? Because I know that's a weird boundary that eventually you have to cross at some point. And Jim has mentioned it. He's a good friend, and he's a Twitch Kittens admin who has a great channel, by the way. But he has a whole growth meter he has to go through, and he is continually shrinking and growing and trying to figure out what works to get to where he wants to be. How do you see that?
Well, I don't know if I actually have a favorite game to stream right now, to be perfectly honest.
Not that witches game where you were throwing chickens at somebody, or something?
Well, that game is really fun, but I don't know if it's my favorite game ever to stream. I mean, I bounce around a lot. I get bored, so I have to keep changing it up, or else it won't be fun for me.
Right, and for you, it's like when it's not fun, you're probably not doing it.
No, I don't do it if it's not fun.
Right.
I mean, growth is obviously important to me, because I'm not like shooting for partner or trying to make a ton of money or anything like that from streaming. Right. But just as like, I'm a little type A, and so just for me, I want to be successful at the things that I attempt to do. So for me, the growth is more like a personal challenge than it is like an actual, well, I want to be here so I can quit my day job type thing. It's not like that for me at all. It's just more like, this is like a personal project for me, and I want to make it succeed because of that. But for me, I think if you, like, I'm not going to stream things that I don't have fun streaming. Like, it could be the best game to stream ever and get me like crazy growth, but if I don't enjoy it, I'm not going to do it. This is I do this because I love it, not because I'm trying to get somewhere with it. And I don't think anybody should do this like for that was actually one of my posts in Twitch Kittens in the Spotlight Streamer thing, is don't, like, we have a finite amount of time. You know, like, we're born, we live, we die. Like, everybody dies. And what you do with your free time shouldn't be something that makes you unhappy. It should be something that you enjoy. And if you are frustrated and not having fun doing this, don't do it. If you are having fun doing it, keep doing it. But that's kind of just my take on it, is I'm not going to do it. It's not fun.
Lesson number 4. No, yeah, that's a really, really good point, and I feel the same way. I have a set of games that I really, really like. I think I know that I could move to some different games and do more growth, but I would hate it, and I would not be interested in it. And it's funny because I've mentioned on this show before that some of the big streamers, and Jim and I talk once in a while about his growth, but also he has friends that are very much larger, 1,000 concurrent viewers and things like that, 1,500 concurrent viewers. They have the opposite problem, where they have become so big for one game and one style of stream that they can't do anything else. Because if they do anything else, half their viewership leaves. And all of a sudden, it becomes... Like, I figure once you get to 1,000 concurrent viewers, you're probably a partner and probably doing some kind of income from this.
Right.
If that is your main job, you need some sort of stable income to survive. So...
Right.
Or, you know, I don't want to say survive. There's probably different levels of survival, so it's all relative in itself. But if you become accustomed to some certain lifestyle or whatever, to maintain that lifestyle, you need to keep doing a certain thing. So if a new game comes out, these guys try and say, hey, I'm going to play a new game today, and they have 1/3 the viewers, it doesn't make sense in terms of job time to be doing that. There's a chance they can lose sponsorships, they can lose partner. You know, I don't even know if you can lose partnership. Right. I don't know if that's a thing. But
I don't know either.
Yeah. Hey, those are newbie questions that we will eventually figure out in our journey. But yeah, so it's strange looking at it from this angle up and thinking, wow, how do I grow but still play what I want? And then when you see someone that's at the top going, how the hell do I maintain and play what I want and not have to play this? And from what I've heard from Jim and these, I mean, I don't talk to these big streamers. Jim talks to these streamers and knows these guys. But he's mentioned a couple times in the chat and privately that they try and do this thing where they'll stream for a majority of their time. They stream 8, 9 hours a day, 10 hours a day, whatever. And then the last hour, they try just a little bit of a new game. And they'll try and just like start growing a little bit of a more growth and more people sticking around with the new game as they go. But yeah, it's a really, really interesting problem. And I know that I give the doc shit all the time. I mean, the guy has 20,000 concurrent viewers or some shit. Right. But like, he'll stream one game and have 25,000 concurrent viewers. That game fucking sucks. Fortnite sucks. I don't care what anybody says. No, but then when he streams PUBG, he has like 10,000. So for me, 10,000 sounds so crazy. But when you're on some certain level, you're talking about half the income at some certain point. So do you keep playing a game that you're not super happy with? It's a really weird conversation.
I mean, for me personally, I'm not going to do that. And as a variety streamer, I don't really have that same problem, I guess.
True.
But it is harder to grow as a variety streamer than it is finding that one game and, you know, sticking with it. But I think the benefit of being a variety streamer is that people aren't there for the game. They're there to hang out with me and the other people in the community. So it doesn't really, and I mean, I try as much as possible to, you know, ask my community, like, hey, what kind of games do you want to see me play? You know, what games would you like to see? And obviously, if I don't have fun doing the game, you know, we're not going to keep doing it, but I'm willing to try out new things and stuff like that and, you know, get feedback from my community. And most of the time, the response I get is, no, we don't care. Just pick something.
Yeah, that's awesome because they're just happy watching you play whatever it is. That's really awesome.
Yeah. I mean, they're just there to hang out with each other and to hang out with me and, you know, try to freak me out over certain things. They will pick scary games sometimes because I'm a total and complete fucking wimp, and they want to see me be scared. But for the most part, like, I mean, I don't have a PC that can run a lot of the really like powerful games, and I'm working on getting a PC upgrade so I can expand what I can stream, because I probably once I finish upgrading it, I'll have a much larger like range of things that I can stream, and things that I normally play that I currently can't stream.
Right.
But for the most part, I think like they just want to come hang out, and that's pretty much it. Is they just want a space on Twitch where they can be them and they can hang out with someone who's being themselves, and we all just have fun together. And I play some really weird indie games sometimes, and we all laugh about it, and that's pretty much it. So I think the benefit of being a variety streamer is it doesn't really matter what you play for the most part. And even if I was to find a game that all of a sudden just like crazy took off, and you know, that's like it got insane viewership, since I'm not seeking this as a full-time job, I would still just play what I wanted, and some streams would be really good and some streams wouldn't. So, but my same regulars would still be there hanging out, and that's really what matters to me, is that my regulars are there.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good point. And I feel like I'm sort of in that same boat where I'm not going to play something I'm not happy with. But you also touched on something that was interesting, in that sort of how your viewers will, or your regulars, or, you know, your subs or whatever it is, they just want to kind of come to see you, which is everyone's point, you know. I keep bringing up the doc, but it could be anyone, any of the big partner stream, Shroud, Ninja, whoever. Mm-hmm. These guys could play freaking Doki Doki Literature Club, and they're going to have all their followers watching.
I did play that.
Oh, well, okay.
It was a lot of fun.
Highest viewership ever.
I did voices. I actually had pretty good viewership, surprisingly.
Awesome. No, but another thing I just thought of was, in the case of Easy, I've seen her play a couple of different games, and mainly it's City Skylines, I think. Mm-hmm. But there's also been Surviving Mars, and there was also, oh god, what was that new game that was just like those freaking games? Like Frostheart. I keep thinking Frostmourne, but that's WoW. Frost something or other.
Man, Jadles is streaming.
Whatever that game is called
right now.
It's Frost
something, but yeah, it's like a sim game.
Yeah,
but
same type, but same vein of games. Yeah, same vein.
Frostpunk.
There it is, Frostpunk. So I feel like it'd be easier to navigate through games of a like genre, you know. So your viewers aren't, you know, Easy's not going from playing Frostpunk to PUBG. That's not happening. It's like Sims to Frostpunk to Cities to, you know, even Age of Empires, something like that, like in that vein of games. And Jim does the same thing. He plays, I think he plays Terraria and whatever that other game is where he's building. Shit, I am so bad at those freaking games. Whatever it was, doesn't matter. But you can play those same style of games. And on my channel, I find that I play somewhat the same games too, PUBG and Radical Heights and those type of first-person games. So, yeah, you could be. There's almost like a ground where you can consider yourself variety and play an off game, but you can sort of stay in a subgenre that might be beneficial as well. God, all these strategies.
I don't really stay in a subgenre. Not really.
Well, you're playing witches, and you've played Doki Doki. So
I played a dating sim, or a horror dating sim, Doki Doki. I've played some other, well, one other like kind of spoopy game. I have done puzzle games. I have done let me think, what are some of the other things I played? So like Witcher is a multiplayer game. I did a Rusty Lakes game, which is a really disturbing puzzle game.
I think I saw Ellie playing that.
Yes, I actually saw it on Ellie's stream. She was playing a different one because they have a whole series of them, and I I'm weird and I like really weird shit. And I was like, this looks awesome. It looks weird as fuck. I want to do it. And so I bought one of them and
then I played it and hated it.
No, I loved it. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I don't really think that I stick. I've done like Stardew Valley as well. Yeah. So I don't really stick in like a subgenre. I tend to play more indie game. Oh, I also did Valley, and BioShock. The best game of all time. I've never played BioShock before, so I'm doing like my first ever playthrough on stream. I had to take a break from it though because it stresses me out because I'm a wimp and it scares the shit out of me. And with the stress of like moving, I was like, you know what? I have enough stress going on right now. I'm not gonna be stressed out on stream all the time. Right. So I like took a break from that for a little bit, but then after I move, I'll pick it back up and people can continue watching me freak out. I've learned a lot about myself playing games that scare me. Weird random habits that I have. So
yeah, I like it. Yeah. And it's funny you mentioned the puzzle games. I also thought Frump does most of the same thing too. She plays really kind of strange puzzle games. Yeah,
her and Elamir and me tend to like, I think we play like kind of, we're interested in similar things, like kind of the offbeat weird kind of games. But I also like mainstream games too. I just currently can't stream them because my PC doesn't have the capability of doing that yet.
Right. Time for an upgrade. And now for our sponsor from Micro Center.
I actually do have a Micro Center in my area.
Oh my God, it's the best store of all time. It's the greatest store of all time.
It is literally down the street from me, so I will be giving them a bunch of once I have it all.
Oh my God, I'm going there. Okay, so this has been fantastic, and I feel like we could probably talk for another hour, but to save everyone some time, let me go to... There is no fucking way I can scroll through this and look for questions. I'm sorry, I have not looked at this at all.
I've kind of been...
Okay, good. So if you think we're up to date, then we're up to date. My question is, hey, Little Bug, you're the best. I love you. The question is...
Who said that?
Kiri.
Oh, hi, Kiri. I've kind of been sort of like, I saw Avel asked, like, what's my favorite... I don't know if she asked what's my favorite game to stream or what's my favorite game. I don't know. Which one it was.
Pick one and answer it.
So probably my favorite game of all time that I've ever played was Dragon Age Origins. Oh, she says genre. What's my favorite genre of game? But my favorite game of all time that I ever played was Dragon Age Origins. I tend to get easily bored with games, and I actually played that one through with every single Origin, which is something I've never done before. On a game. I don't know why I really like the game versus other ones, but the first time I did play it on console, the first time that I ever played it, I remember I sat down on a Friday and started playing it, and my roommate was visiting their parents for the weekend and came back on Sunday, and I was in the same clothes.
Those are the best. Oh my God, I wish I could do that still. Oh my God.
I was in the same clothes still playing that game, and they just looked at me and went, "Did you move?" And my response was, "Is it Sunday?"
You guys just left 5 minutes ago.
And I played the whole game in one sitting. It took me several days to do it because I'm honestly like shit at games. I do this for fun, not because I'm good. But yep. And Avel asked what genre of games is my favorite. Whew, that one's tough.
Survival horror, I feel like.
No, not even a little. I don't know. It really like depends on my mood at the time. I do tend to like hack and slash games quite a bit, like God of War. I love the God of War series. It's gory and violent and disgusting, and I love it.
It's a good game.
It's such a good series and it has such a good story. I love games that have a good story. I feel like I love the Telltale Walking Dead games. I don't really care for the show, but I love the game.
Have you played The Last of Us?
No, I haven't.
You should play it immediately.
It's on my list. It's on my list to play. I don't own it, so I've heard that it's absolutely amazing. It's like one of the best games that have ever existed, but I haven't actually played it. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I haven't played it through myself. So yeah, I think that I don't know if it's like a particular genre, but I love games that have a good story behind them.
Story-driven games I think are a subgenre in a way.
I mean, but it could be like a Telltale game where it's, a little more point and click, or it could be a game like God of War, which is super hack and slash. As long as it has like a good story behind it, I'm probably going to be interested.
I'm telling you, the fucking Last of Us. You have a PS4?
I do.
I might bring it to you.
Okay. Good.
So I have a friend, and I use this like a badge of honor, like I do, like I'm from New York, like that kind of shit. So I have a friend that works at Naughty Dog and worked on the art in The Last of Us, and she also did the art in Uncharted, and she had been suggesting The Last of Us to me for at least 2 years, and I kept saying, I don't have a PlayStation 3, I can't play it, I don't have one. I moved here and bought a PlayStation 4 maybe 2 weeks before my second kid was born, and thinking, hey, I can play console games with a baby, right? And so basically the first 6 months of his life, I sort of worked from home with him and took care of him for the first 6 months. And I have one of those baby Bjorns where you strap a kid to your chest and sort of walk around with him. Hours in a row, hours for weeks, just walking back and forth in the same room, getting him to sleep, playing this game. It is so freaking good. It's first person game or third person, I don't remember. One of the two. It's like a shooter, but there's so much story in it, you'll die. It's so fucking good.
That sounds like a really good game.
Yeah, that needs to jump up to the top of the list.
I will say I don't play very many shooters because I'm really, really, really bad at them. No, I can't aim with anything. Like Uncharted is the most shooter-esque.
This is exactly that style. Really it's exactly that style.
I can do that. I can do that.
It might be even more. It might be even more story-based than Uncharted.
I'm cool with that. Like, I like the ones where it's like I can lock onto them and shoot them.
Which is kind of this. Yeah.
That's my level of talent. I do play Overwatch. I'm not good at it, like at all. I got into Paladins. Kitty actually got me into Paladins. Again, not good at it, but I have a blast playing it with friends. Do you want me to be looking at chat and just answering people's questions, or?
Sure, because my phone died, so I can't see it.
No.
If you see a question, answer it, and if not, we'll go to the post show.
I can do that. Glimji asked, looking at where you started and where you're headed, is there anything you do differently or change?
Damn, Glimji with a good question.
I know, that's a really good question. Would I do anything differently or change? I honestly don't think I would do anything differently. I mean, I joined a community probably within a week of starting streaming.
Good idea.
And I feel like that's probably like the best decision that you ever could make. And if you're like a new streamer, or even like a seasoned streamer, that like for me it's been like absolutely phenomenal in helping me grow. Mm-hmm. And then also just again with not even just with growth, but just with the people that I've met. Like it's one of the best decisions I've made in my life. Like not even just for my stream. But I don't think I would do anything differently. Because
I saw the text you just sent me. You would choose not to meet Kitty. Okay, I understand.
Yeah, I would choose not to meet. I haven't met Kitty yet, but future me would choose to not meet Kitty. I actually am meeting Kitty in.
In what? You cut out there. In August? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Kitty is coming down to visit in August.
What? That's awesome.
And I'm meeting Elvira in 2 weekends.
She's relatively close, I think.
Yes, she's about 3 hours. She's 3 hours away.
You live in the biggest goddamn state in the. It's bigger than half of most countries. But, yeah.
She's only 3 hours away. It's no big deal.
Awesome.
But yeah, so I will. Okay, here's another question. Question from the beginning. Little Bug mentioned she's trying to relate her tattoos to her streams this week. Which tattoo relates to this stream? Oh God. Which tattoo relates to this? I don't know if I can relate a tattoo to this particular stream.
She has a tattoo that's just a shovel digging a grave, and that's
basically
what this one relates to.
I do. It's on my back. I like.
Rip my stream.
Wear it. So, someone else asked, where do I live? I live in Dallas, Texas. So, and no, I'm not afraid to say that because it's a really fucking big city. So, yeah, you're not gonna find me. So, unless I want to be found. But yeah, that is. I live in Dallas, Texas. We are known for eating and drinking.
And the Cowboys. It.
The Cowboys and the Kennedy assassination. That's that's our claim to fame.
Oh, hooray.
Yep. But awesome. Yeah, I wonder if Little Bug has noticed she has a T3 sub. What? Broken
Yes.
Lava! Oh my god.
Yes. Okay, save that for the post show because I want to see that emote.
Okay. Oh, he's already thrown it in there.
Damn it!
It's not my new one. Momo wants to know, how do you get your hair so shiny? That's an interesting question.
Glitter.
Unicorn farts.
Lesson 5 here on this show.
Yep.
All right, let's. Is that all the questions? I feel.
I'm scrolling through trying to see if I can find any that are. I think that's really it, unless somebody wants to throw in one of their questions that they asked before.
We can. Well, the one that I had that I didn't get a chance to ask before my phone died was the tattoo one. So I think.
Yeah. What's that?
No, I mean the one you just answered about which one relates to the stream.
What tattoo relates to this stream? And I don't have an answer for that. Which tattoo relates to this stream?
It's okay. We'll defer it, and I'll make something up.
Oh, someone asked, "What's the best steak in Dallas?"
That's actually pertinent to me. What is it now?
What is the best steak in Dallas? And the answers that are being thrown out in chat are not correct.
Is it Outback Steakhouse?
No, God, no. I hate Outback Steakhouse.
Is it the Waffle House?
Blah, blah. Yeah, Waffle House has steak, totally. You should make sure you order steak there when you come to Dallas.
Sounds like the best idea.
Probably the best steak. Oh, I mean, that's a really.
There's got to be a Morton's or a Ruth's Chris and all that kind of stuff there.
I mean, yeah, but those are not the best steaks here. Those are good, but those aren't the best. That's a really, really good question. Because, I mean, I've had a lot of good steak in Dallas, and I don't know if there's, like, a particular one specific place that's better than the rest of them. I really like Steve Fields. They have a really good steak. It's like, on the pricier scale. There is a place called Canary Cafe that has an amazing steak. It's actually an award-winning steak.
That does not sound like a place I would order a steak. Maybe a croissant.
It's not.
But not a steak.
It is actually a Mediterranean chef-owned restaurant that's super tiny and amazing. And he enters the steak. Texas has a steak competition, and he enters it, and he's won multiple times. So
for best tasting or like biggest?
For best tasting. Okay. For best steak. Like best tasting steak. Bigger does not always mean better.
That is completely contrary to the point of Texas, I believe. That is contrary to the state motto.
We are the biggest. Well, except for California and Alaska, but they don't count.
They're not real states. It's okay.
I do get a lot of questions about Texas. Like people ask me a lot of like when they find out that I'm from there, they ask me a lot of like.
How much ranching did you do when you were a kid?
Yeah. Like, do I know how to ride a horse?
Do you have an oil field?
And things like that.
How many gallons is your hat? Am I done?
Do you wear cowboy boots and cowboy hats all the time?
Where do you get your spurs at?
Yep. I get asked questions like that all the time. And I love I love answering questions about Texas, if I'm perfectly honest.
Okay, I have one more question before we go to the post show.
Yeah.
How many rodeos have you been to?
10.
10 goddamn rodeos? I didn't even know rodeo was a real thing. I thought it was fake.
No, there's like several rodeos that happen every year. They're really good too.
Are these people just riding? Okay, I can't even comprehend it. We're going to have to go to the post show. I'm going to need another drink. We're going to talk about rodeos.
Okay, we can talk about rodeos. It's fine.
Just officially, thank you so much for being on the show. You are a continuation in a long line of very awesome Spotlight streamers that has come in the previous 6-ish weeks. Whatever it was before Alvaro, that was the first one, and I couldn't get her on the show. Since then, up to now, all amazing. Thank you for being on the show. I think you have one more day on the Spotlight, so hopefully you get some more love as we're moving forward here.
I am streaming tomorrow. I don't normally stream on Tuesday. To stream.
Streaming tomorrow. You heard it. You see the link right below her picture. You need to go there, support her. And then you can find all of her social stuff on her page. And I was there earlier, so I'm sure there's a Discord link there.
There is.
And all the other stuff. You can also find her in the Twitch Kittens Discord. So if you want to join that, that is below this page. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. You have been an amazing guest. I feel like we could talk for another hour.
Thanks.
But it's like been an hour and a half, and no one wants to see me anymore. Let's go to the post show. Give me 5 minutes. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
What is the post show?
The post show is where I just reminisce on everything awesome that I said and continue to drink a beer, and then we just sort of talk in the chat about any questions we missed. So if you want to hang out, cool.
Yeah,
if not,
I'll definitely hang out.
Awesome. That's it. I'll see you in 5 minutes. We'll be in the game studio. I'll be back in just a minute. Don't go anywhere.
Sounds good. Okay.